everybody, it's Ann from Annalise Creates, Annalise Creations. Toodles, hello. Not Toodles. Toodles is goodbye. Anyways, I was going to show you how I do my ATCs. I'm part of a group on Facebook, which I'll post down at the bottom of the screen on Facebook called Crazy Island Family, and we're part of an ATC swap this month. We're doing ATCs, Halloween themed, and so I thought I'd show you my process of how I do some of my ATCs. Now, I am very messy, and so I try to keep my chaos at bay, sort of. So I have like lids to shoe boxes that I put things in for projects. I put them in by category of things I'm doing at the time. So this is my Halloween one. It's kind of a mess. I actually have two going. Here's another one where I already cut up some ATCs and I decorated some of them. I'll show you how I do that. These are actually going to be for something else I'll show you along the way. So I've got several of them, as you can see, and I bought some stickers on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and I've got stamps. I always use some type of, sometimes I use stamps, not always. And then I made a homemade stencil using my Silhouette Cameo. So I'm going to show you my process. Hang on a minute. My daughter just came home and I need to close my door. Hi everybody, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just got interrupted for a minute. And I didn't want her coming up here and interrupting because sometimes she does that. She's in college, going to community college, and she's in and out these days between her job and community college. Anyways, so back to the subject. I've got these stickers I also bought at Hobby Lobby, and I really like them. So I'm going to use these right now because I have 3 more ATCs to make for this swap. I've already done these. This one, which I showed you in yesterday's vlog, and this little monster guy. Isn't he cute? I like him. Okay, so, and then I did this one kind of as an example, but I wasn't sure if if I'm going to use it or not. I may use it for an Instagram swap. I'm not sure, but we'll see as I go along. So, to start, I like to use dilution sprays, which are right here. See these? So I'm using cut grass, lemon zest, and crushed grape on the dilution sprays. I actually got very lucky. I found these on clearance at Hobby Lobby. I always head to the clearance aisle first because sometimes when I'm looking for something, I often find it in the clearance aisle. So, because I try not to play regular prices for things. I'm kind of cheap that way. And then, of course, there's the Dollar Tree store, which I love a lot. So, let's get started. So, I use gloves because I've gotten wise. The last few videos and things I've done, I haven't used gloves. I'm allergic to latex. If you're allergic to latex, find some latex-free gloves. And I put them on because that way I don't get the ink all over my hands. Let me take my pedometer off. I don't know why I'm wearing that today, but I am. Okay, so we're going to get started here. I'm going to put these two aside because I like to kind of make them different sometimes. And on this one, these two I did use scrapbooking paper. But this time I'm going to be a little different and I'm going to make my own backgrounds for the ATCs. Now, you can do whatever you feel inclined to do. But sometimes I like to experiment. So I'm going to start out with the green, the cut grass dilution spray. And I'm going to spray it. And then it comes on a little goopy sometimes. So I've got my paper towel, and I just blot it a little bit. And I keep the paper towel because you can use it for other projects, other things. I'm going to carefully lift it up, and it gives me that. And because I'm impatient, I'm going to use my heat gun. If you can't afford a crafting heat gun, a blow dryer will do. The only thing I've noticed with the blow dryers is that it depending on what setting you have it on, if you have it on high blow, you're going to blow everything off your craft table. So make sure before you turn on your hair dryer that you have it on low. But since I have my heat gun, it doesn't do that. It runs hotter than a hair dryer would at a low setting. So if you do get a heat gun, mine's heated up craft tool by Ranger. If you get one of these, avoid putting your fingers close to it. You could burn yourself. I've done that. Okay, so I've done that. And now I think, let me think, because before I do anything else, yeah, I'm going to spray some of the purple on. And sometimes I like to go off a little bit like this to give it a kind of an interesting look. So I'm going to spray it. And lift it. This time I didn't need to blot it down as much. So I'm going to dry this one up. So now that's nice and dry. It curls up, but what I do is I use a paper weight to flatten my stuff up. Now I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to take these off and set them aside because I reuse them until they're really yucky and then I throw them out. I love these paint dabbers by Adirondack Metallics. This is a metallic one. And so it's got a little dabber on the end. Just be careful because sometimes when you open them, the lid can sometimes explode on you. So sometimes I make sure I check them before I squeeze. And so I'm going to do the edges. I'm going to dab the edges, around the edges. See, just like that. So I'm going to show you here. So I've dabbed the edges. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Go around it like this. Give it a kind of a cool effect. Okay. And then I'm going to use my heat gun again. Sorry for the noise. But it speeds things up a bit. Okay, dilution sprays are water soluble, I believe. So a lot of times it's kind of hard. It can smear and smudge if you use matte medium on them. So my suggestion is that if you're going to glue anything down, use an adhesive or use a glue stick and then gently pat it on, because otherwise it will smear. I am kind of impatient about going online and figuring out the different techniques in order to get them to become more permanent. So anyways, I'm going to use Frankenstein's head. Frankie, okay? So I'm going to put him right about there, and I'm going to have to zoom in a little because I noticed you guys might be having a hard time seeing this. And let's see if I can adjust the camera angle a little. I'm still trying to get this working properly, so excuse my camera techniques. There, that looks a little better. Okay, so I stuck him on. Okay, now for the body, I took some Bristol paper and I did all kinds of like different designs on them, and I also yeah, so I did some different designs on them. So I think I'm going to use this one for his body. So what I do is, first of all, I get a pencil, which I didn't have ready. I should have had ready. Okay, and I'm going to flip this over like this, and I'm going to draw his body. I think I'm going to use a rounded square or rectangle. Okay, see that? So I'll show you again. And then I'm going to cut this out, if I can find my scissors. Of course, never anything here when you need them, huh? I thought I was very organized today, and yeah, okay, so my scissors, and I'm going to cut out this one. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you could probably use one of the stencil thingies to make it a little more. I'll show you what I mean by stencil thingies. One of these templates is what they're called, actually. You probably could have used a square template. I did in one of these, but I kind of like the freehand look. It makes it look more organic. So that's going to go about there, but I need to make him a little bit smaller because I'm going to make some room for some legs. So I'm going to cut these out. Cut it out a little bit more. He's going to have a big head. Okay, so I like that. Alright, so I'm going to glue this down. And I have a glue stick thingy, and I don't see the other one that was opened. Where did I put that one? I had it earlier. Well, I guess I'll be using this one then. Okay, so I'm going to have to open it up. There we go. Came undone. Okay, yeah, excuse my mess here. Okay, so now I'm going to glue it down. So I squeeze it on here, put enough glue so that it sticks well. This I got at this applicator's glue bottle I got at Daiso, Japan. It's a kind of like a Japanese version of a dollar store, and it's really cool. There's one in San Francisco, California, one in Berkeley, and I think there's some down south, down in Southern California. I'm not sure about what other parts of the country or world they may be located at, but they are pretty fun. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one, and I like to make the arms and the legs like I did on this one. I made arms and legs on this one, if you can see them. Okay, so I may, let's see what I've got here. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to draw arms and legs. So I'm just kind of guessing. I'm going to just make his hands kind of rounded looking. And this one will have to be the opposite. So I'll do it like that. And then I'm going to cut them out. And sometimes if I make a mistake on the one, I end up doing another one. But we'll see how this one goes first. It's pretty simple shapes. Yeah. It makes them look fun. Kind of childlike, kid-like. It does make them fun. No, I don't necessarily make the arms the same length and stuff because they're supposed to be kind of like monster looking and such, so I don't make them look even because I think they look pretty cool, a little uneven. Okay, so I'm going to glue this guy down, these guys down, but you know what? I should have probably, sometimes I lift it up and glue the arms down behind it, which I should have done on this one, but I didn't. So the next one, I will do that. And that one kind of fit in there. There we go. Okay, and then this guy. I gotta remember to try to stay within the screen so you guys can see. So let's see. Let's see if it'll lift up. It may not now because it's glued down, so I'll just put this one on the outside. It's all right. Okay, and now he needs legs. So I can't remember where I got this free clip art from. I don't remember, to be honest with you guys. I found these online at a free clip art place. I'm not sure where I got them. So I was thinking maybe I might use these legs, or I might make my own. Let's see, I may make my own because I think they look cooler. We'll use these. So, give Frank some funny looking legs. Okay, so I drew them. Okay, and now I'm going to cut them out. It's going to be another hot day here in California. So, like I said in my video vlog yesterday, do us a happy dance, please. Happy, dance happy for us, a rain dance. Because we do need the rain, desperately need the rain. Everything is very dry here, very, very dry. Okay, so here are his legs. Okay, and I made them a little bit of a different, picked out the little bit of a different color so it didn't all look the same. I think it adds a little more interest to him. So I'm going to add that on there. And add the next one. He's got funny looking legs. Okay. So I will be back in a few minutes while this dries. I'll see you in a little bit. Right, bye. Welcome back. I'm back. Okay, so he's dry. See that? Now I'm going to outline his body and his legs, and I'm using the souffle pens. I can't remember what, Sakura. Yeah, they're by Sakura souffle pen. Let's see if I can show you the souffle pen. And this one is, it's kind of a grayish color. So to get it started, I sometimes scribble on my drop cloth to get it going, and then I'm going to outline it a little. So let's see if you guys can see this. Let's move these out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to outline his arms, his hands, because I think it stands out a little more when you outline, especially when there's a similar background. It makes it easier to see the shapes. I think it adds a little bit of character as well. And really, art's just shapes. So if you're beginning drawing, don't say you can't do anything, because you can. first of all. Secondly, you can draw simple shapes and to start and build upon them. I used to teach art to kindergarten through 5th grade, and I'm not a very good, I wouldn't consider myself a professional artist, but I did teach my students how to draw using shapes, and it really does help. And then they built upon that. Sometimes I would have samples up on the whiteboard to show them what we were going to learn to draw that day, and sometimes they did, well, a lot of times they did way better than I did. Plus, kids' imaginations sometimes they don't have any inhibitions stopping them from doing their art, and so sometimes they did actually a better job than I did, and which was good because that meant I was doing my job. So, and I like to add some funky afterthought shapes stuff to it. So just like that, outlining the whole thing. Okay, now that part is done. Oh, that part is done. So here he is. He's pretty cool. So there's his face, there's his arms, I've outlined them, and there are his legs. So now what I do is, I found this ribbon. So what I do is I often compare what I'm going to do here with the ribbon. Sometimes, let's see, where's the other ribbon? Here it is. So I had got this ribbon and this purplish ribbon, except it doesn't show up as purple on the camera. It shows up more like blue. And I don't know, I think I like that one better than that. So I think I'm going to use this one here. So I got to measure it out first. So I kind of eyeball everything. And then I'm going to cut it. Okay. And on this one, I'm going to use a little bit of stronger glue. It's the Aleene's Tacky Glue. It's clear. It's the clear gel one. I like it. It's a pretty strong glue, and it works really well. So what I do is I put the glue directly down on the ATC, because that way I can line up the ribbon with the ATC, and it glues down better that way than doing it on the ribbon and then gluing it, excuse me, then gluing it onto the ATC. So it's going to go right here. And you are going to get some glue on your fingers. And wearing gloves in this part would not work, because your gloves would get sort of stuck to the glue, and you might pull off your gloves while you're doing this, and not on purpose. Okay, so this is going to dry, and while that is drying, I like to add some other embellishments like up here or here. So I'm going to look for some beads, or perhaps some buttons are a good choice. What is going on? Okay, nothing. I heard a bunch of motorcycles go by. We live right by a park trail, and it is fall break here. We are kind of considered a year-round school year, and right now the kids are on fall break, and they get their motorcycles out without parental supervision. Sorry. And they go racing through the park, and they're not supposed to be out there, but oh well. Okay, so I've got these beads here. Change the subject. So I'm going to use these gems or beads or whatever. I'm going to use them here. They already have adhesive to the back, so I'm going to see if they stay, but sometimes they don't stick very well. So I sometimes put a dot of glue on the back to make sure that they adhere to the ATC. And then, I'm not quite done yet because I like to add a saying on my ATC. Some people, they'll just send them out like this, which is fine, but others of us like to add sayings. And so I had this scrapbook paper that I bought, I think this year. I think I bought it at Hobby Lobby, and it's got all kinds of sayings on it. And so I'm going to see what I'd like to cut out on this one. So let's see, it has monsters, scream. I think I like the monster one, so I'm going to see if I can cut over to that without cutting all the other words. Sometimes it's a challenge to do this, but I think I did it. So I like the monster one. It says monsters. So I've cut it. And now what I use is, I use a glue stick on this one. Just a plain old glue stick from dollar store. So I'm going to glue it on the back. Okay, and then I like to find a place for it. Sometimes I'll put it here. Sometimes I'll put it across here. I like it this way. I'm going to put it across his chest. In fact, I'm going to put it down a little bit more to cover that mistake on his arm. So you can cover what you think are mistakes. There's no mistake in art, is what I like to say, but sometimes we do stuff that we don't like, and this is a great way of covering up his arm that didn't go behind his body. So that's that. And this is the one I'm going to show you how I did, because I don't think you want to see the whole and all the rest that I'm going to do. So, see you later. Toodles. It was nice showing you. Have a great day. Bye.